What's up, y'all? This is probably the most important money-saving video for this platform or any other platform, right? If you can make your own drive shaft versus getting one off the shelf, where the ones on the shelf, they don't even tell you how long they are because they don't want to give away their secrets, I guess. It's never on the description of the drive shafts, and they range anywhere from $6.99 to $7.99, not including tax and shipping, all right? So here I have a Coleman. You can get a 2.5, you can get a 2.75, a 3, 3.5, depending on what your car is suited for. But we'll get into more detail on that later. I have the JTR V8 conversion flange for the BMW drive shaft, and the T36 slip yoke, all right, the 27 spline. I'm gonna zoom in on these, give more detail, and drop some part numbers, show you guys how to measure. And then after that, I'll tell you how long this is. I'm not gonna say how long it is now, so y'all don't stop the video here and go order the wrong length, okay? But I'm gonna show you guys how to measure, show you how I came up with the measurements, show you what I ordered, and then show you how to put it together and put it in, okay? So let's get into it. All right, so these are the two components you're gonna need. Obviously, you're gonna need the drive shaft portion as well, but you cannot measure without these two components, okay? Now, I might have made an error. I measured with this, thinking it'd be the same size, but this one's a little bit, probably can't pick that up on camera. It's a little bit, let me just show y'all a comparison. All right, the U-joint sits a little bit higher. I don't think it'll matter in my case, because I had that error, that room for error, but you can see how much thicker this V8 adapter is, okay? These are non-serviceable, okay? I thought I can cut this off and use it, but you can see just how much more beefier this is. You may not want to use it, all right? Because I know some people do keep the stock two-piece drive shaft, right? And just modify the front of it. But, so there you have it. This was $111. All right, I'll show you where to get that. All right, you get them from JTR and Stealth Conversions. All right, I'll post a link and everything. I'll show you guys. There's a price. So, and then we go right over to the trans yoke. Okay. Now this will fit a wide variety of vehicles, but this will fit a T56. All right, I already verified. Plus, it's in the description. Okay. Only $36. Can't beat it. All right. This is 27 spline. I don't know if you guys have seen that. So it will fit a T56. Both are 1310, okay? I went with a 1310. I don't need much more, all right? It's gonna be a cruiser, the occasional street race, and road coursing, okay? I'm not gonna be doing drag racing and all that. You guys drag racing, they need what, 1350 or beyond, 1410, something like that. But 1310 will do it for me, so that's what I wanted, okay? Now I'm gonna jump under the car and show you guys how to measure. All right, so we're gonna put the slip yoke in first, okay? So the slip yoke is about 3 inches, okay, on the portion that goes in. You wanna push it all the way in and pull it out about 1 inch, okay? It's gonna be pretty tough to like know exactly how far 1 inch out is, but if you look at the output shaft, hopefully you guys can see this, because I can see I have no space, but all right. Let me push this in real quick, guys. Can't do it with one hand. Okay, sorry about that. It sucks for space and lighting. I'm terribly sorry, but you can see it's all the way in. I hope I'm getting the right angles. It's all the way in, okay? Now what I am about to do is just pull it out just about 1 inch. All right, what you want is about a 3/4 inch to 1 inch of space, okay? Now I've had situations where I went a little bit over 1 inch and a little bit under 3/4, okay? A little bit over 1 inch on my Z32, and a little bit under an inch, I think, on my Genesis. So it'll be fine. You just don't want it to be all the way in, because when your suspension's moving and you know, you lower the car, and there's a number of things that can cause it to go in and out. All right, and you just want it to be spaced so it doesn't bind, damage your transmission, damage your diff, damage whatever. All right, you don't want that. So enough of me talking. Now that that's pulled out about an inch. Let me pull it out a little bit more. I'm just guesstimating, but now that you have that, let's move on to the diff side. All right, so this side, man, it sucks that these bushings are gonna be hidden because they look good. But all right, so this side, you just want to install. Okay. Now, it has a little lip that it sits in, okay? So you don't necessarily need to put the bolts in at this time, all right? It'll be fine just like this. Just make sure it's flush, all right? You see that, okay? Now, this is how you measure, okay? Take a tape measure. And what I like to do, you want to try to get this right in the middle, all right? Where the U-joint sits, okay? That's where you measure. Now how I get it, and this is gonna suck trying to show you guys, all right, is I just take it from here, I pull it all the way to the slip yoke, all right? Okay, so again, I apologize. I am under the car, limited space. You can see, I don't know if you guys can see, I can barely even maneuver under here. So I apologize. Again, the space sucks. I can't stress that enough. But what I did, and I came up with 43 3/4 inches, okay? What I did was I measured from the center of this U-joint, and I like to rotate it to the bottom. And there's no light back there, but as you can see, the slip yoke is in there. And like I said, push the slip yoke all the way in, pull out an inch. All right, that gives you room for the suspension travel and all that, for the drive shaft going in and out. So you don't bind up and damage your transmission, output shaft, or your differential, whatever, all right? So what I did is I measured from the center of the diff side flange to the center of the slip yoke, okay? And I came up with 44 inches. Now why I came up with 44 inches the first time is because for some stupid reason, I just took the measurement off of the OEM non-serviceable flange, and that was wrong, as this flange sticks out a little bit more, but that's fine. You know why? Because you need 1 inch to 3/4 inch of play on the slip yoke, and this is 43 3/4 inch minus 44 inches, and you're left with 1/4 inch. So if I subtract that 1/4 inch from that inch of space I put on the slip yoke, I still have 3/4 inches of travel, so I'm fine. But go ahead and order these parts first, okay? This and the slip yoke, and measure that way, and then order your drive shaft. And I will give you guys tips on what drive shaft to order, where to get it from, as soon as I get from under this car, okay? So, all right, so those measurements I took under the car, right? I just, came out and remeasured the drive shaft. All right, from the center to the center of this U-joint, okay? And it is 43 3/4. So it's actually spot on. That's a little bit odd. Maybe they just measure from end to end, but even on the, even on the instructions, all right, I don't know how well y'all can see, it says you measure center to center. You know what I'm saying? So I did the right thing, even though I did the wrong thing. That's why you always measure, right? You measure, and then you give yourself 1 inch of play, and you will always be Gucci, okay? You'll always be good. So let's talk about drive shafts. This is a 2.5 inch steel drive shaft, okay? And the E36, it has an ATI balancer, okay? And there's a reason I do that. It's because, all right, so you see ATI balancer, okay? I always get ATI balancers when I have swaps with solid mounts, okay? There's Delrin under this mount, all right, so it's solid. And then not the drive shaft, the transmission is on a poly mount, okay? And then my differential is on 95A poly. So it naturally is gonna wanna be a very harsh ride. So what I do is I always go ATI balancer because that eats up, in my experience, like 75% of vibrations. All right, down there 80, 85. It all but eliminates it, okay? So if you go with aluminum like I always do, there's always more harmonics, more vibrations, just transmitted, okay? And when I went steel on the Z32, I had none of that, okay? So I wanted to stay with steel. That's just my preference. I'm gonna pull out a scale once I put this together, show you guys how heavy it is. Cause you know, aluminum is really light. You guys can go carbon fiber. You can do the same thing with carbon fiber. But I am cheap. Y'all know I'm one of the cheapest people y'all know. And I will not spend upwards of $1,000 on carbon fiber. I'm just not doing it, sorry. But again, got some Coleman. You can spend about 25, 30 more bucks and get a 3-inch aluminum version, okay? If you so choose. I hear with 3-inch, there's clearance problems. You need to make way for it. It'll rub sometimes, it just depends. So I just went ahead and with 2.5. I wanted 2.75 inches, but I just went 2.5 because that was the only option from them. There was another company who made it custom to order. These guys had it in stock, so I just went with that. All right. They say this is for sportsmen, so you can drag with it. The sportsman class, the drag strip, circle track, all that is good for. So I have no problems. They say it's up to 500 horsepower. I know to go over that, you know, because I don't have sticky ass tires. Well, those tires have changed, but I don't have sticky tires. And like I said, this will be street, you know, autocross occasionally. No drag strip, okay? No sticky tire launching and none of that. So this will be more than fine for my setup. That's why I went with them. I'll be sure to drop the links for everything needed from several companies, from 3-inch to 3.5 inch, whatever you need, okay? Also, the U-joint I went with is it's 1310, all right? That's the style I went with, 1310. You have 1310, 1350, 1410, 1450, it goes all the way up, okay? 1310 is more than enough for me. Worst case, if there's a weak point anywhere in the drive line, the 1310 is a snap, okay? Now, if you go at 1350s, 1410, they're not gonna snap. You're gonna break something else before you break the drive shaft, okay? So it's all in what you're doing. If you guys are drag racing, you definitely want 3-inch carbon or steel, or I don't know if you guys want aluminum. I'm sure they make some thick aluminum out there that'll withstand it. If you guys is a fully dedicated track car, you know, autocross, stuff like that, you're gonna wanna go with a 2.75 or 3-inch. It just depends on what you're doing, all right? If it's just a cruiser, car meets, occasional street race, stuff like that, steel is good for you, aluminum is good for you. It just depends on what you're into and what you're willing to, I don't know, live with as far as NVH, you know, noise, vibration, harmonics, whatever. So let's get into assembling this. Okay guys, now just a warning, this is the part of the video where if you're queasy and all that, go ahead and tune out or skip forward because I am not using the proper tools, okay? I will be beating this thing in with a hammer, the U-joints, okay? They will be beat the shit out of, okay? And it's still gonna work, all right? I'm not the first person to do this, I won't be the last. Some people, you guys have the presses, you have the big vices, you have stuff that can squeeze them in. I don't. I'm gonna take a hammer and I'm going to beat shit out of that thing, okay? So just forewarning. All right, so now I'm going to be assembling this, okay? It's pretty simple, straightforward. This company, Coleman, already comes with the U-joints partially installed, all right? It even comes greased, okay? They were all taped up and greased, all right? So what I'm gonna do is remove both caps, get this slid in, and then I'm gonna have to slide this in, all right? You'll see. All right, I'm gonna put you guys on a time lapse and get everything installed. It's super simple, all right? Half the price for a little bit of work, all right? So let's get into it. So you can see why I beat some life into it. All right, and on the inside, man, I'm trying to explain this. There's a lip, okay? There's a lip where the clip sits. You just wanna beat this down just past that, okay? You don't wanna go too far in. And then the whole time, make sure it's not binding, okay? Everything's all good. You can see what I mean here. You see the clip, all right? And it's recessed in that little grooved out area for it, all right? So yeah, let's do the other side, beat it in, and continue. Hopefully that time lapse really captured everything that it should have. Coleman, shout out to you guys, but you guys forgot to give me 4 clips. You gave me 2, okay? So I have one on this side. This one still needs a clip. I'm gonna have to order some, but we got it in. It's not gonna affect it as far as me put it in and showing you guys how well it fits. Same at the bottom, all right? Bottom is good. See, I just need a clip on there. Sorry, trying to use one hand. Clip on one side, not on the other, but it's all good. I cannot complain. Let me get this thing weighed now. Look at that, 17 pounds, all right? Now, if you go aluminum, it might be what, 12 pounds, 10 pounds, something like that, but the steel will absorb harmonics better. All right, has a higher critical RPM speed. So I don't even think I'll get anywhere near the critical RPM speed to spin the 7,000, 7,500, something like that. But yeah, pretty much what you do is you get one side in, you beat it down with a hammer, you get it to where the clip will go on, you put the clip in it. You flip it to the other side, do the same thing, okay? Pop the clip in. All right, so again, there it is, 17 pounds. I'm gonna crawl under the car and I'm just gonna throw it in. And again, real quick, like I said, they only sent me 2 of the clips to hold the U-joints in, so I'm gonna have to order, a pack of them. Or reach out to the company, I'm sure they'll send me 2 more. Yeah, I'm gonna get this thrown in. It's not gonna affect it just going in for now. And clearly I'm gonna pull it out again later. And then, yeah, but let's go ahead and throw it in. All right, so I'm just holding this with my hand. And unfortunately, you can't really see. But I don't even have the proper bolts for this anyway, so just have to do it, guys. It shows you how to measure. All right, and like I said, I still need the clips in here. So this has to come right back out. So I'm just gonna pull it right out when I take this video off, but hopefully this helps y'all. All right, so just to refocus everything, I know I'm not the best with terminology, but I'll drop all the appropriate links and everything in the description. And just to kind of wrap everything up again, I went to 2.5 inch steel, all right, it's 17 pounds. It's not bad, it could be worse. Some cars have them 30 pounds, 23 pounds, whatever, all right? Aluminum will get you around 12 pounds, 10 pounds, that area, okay? I elected for 2.5 steel because, like I said, I'm not gonna be doing more than street driving, street racing, and occasional autocross, okay? Maybe one day when this car is turned into like an actual track car, maybe we'll see how long the drive shaft lasts. But for my power goals, 500 to the wheel, I don't think, I don't think it's gonna be an issue, okay? Plenty of clearance under the car. If you go with a 3 inch, I believe you're gonna need to bash in a couple parts. It just depends on what swap kit you're using, okay? Also, you cannot just take my measurements, all right? But if you do, I have pencil tuckies mounts. I would go with a 43 inch drive shaft, all right? That's what I would do. But there could be variables in that, okay? It may not fit the way you like it or the way it should. Same with CX Racing, same with Vorschlag, I think it's called. There's plenty of kits. Sikky, okay? You cannot take my measurements and run with it. You need to measure, okay? So get the slip yoke, which was 36 bucks. The JTR BMW flange adapter, which was 111 bucks. And my Coleman drive shaft was 203 bucks, okay? That is more than half the price of Sikky or whatever company, okay? If you want a 3-inch, I could have paid 25 more bucks for a 3-inch aluminum, same size, all right? But that's just not my needs, okay? And you know, talking about harmonics and trying to make it more enjoyable on the street, I won't steal. So, like I said, you can go chromoly, you can go carbon fiber. It's whatever's in your budget. It's whatever you're using your car for. So if you're drag racing, you definitely want a 3-inch, all right? You want a 3-inch aluminum, 3-inch chromoly, whatever. That's rated for it, okay? You big power guys with turbos, twin turbos, supercharger, all that. Do what your, you know what I'm saying, what your build can handle, okay? Do what you feel you need. This is like my 10th build, not including side jobs, okay? I kind of know what the car needs. I kind of know what will make the car run, okay? Like I said, not the best terminology. I'm on my caveman shit. I don't use the best tools. It's kind of a point to that. It's to show you can get in the garage and do things that you see on Instagram and Facebook just as easily, okay? You can do it yourself. Don't be intimidated, okay? But yeah, you buy those 2 items, you measure, and you order the appropriate drive shaft, okay? So I really hope this helps. All right, this is probably one of the best money-saving videos I put out because, like I said, a lot of people order a Sikky for the wrong kit and it doesn't fit, okay? I've seen it. I've seen people order them for different platforms, it doesn't fit. It's always best to measure, especially when this applies to any swap, any platform, any transmission, okay? Get the slip yoke or whatever, you know, like TR60 doesn't have a slip yoke. It's like bolt on, all right? Get whatever trans side you need and get whatever diff side you need, all right? Measure the U-joint to U-joint, the center U-joint, and then order the drive shaft, all right? It applies to everything. So I hope this really helped y'all. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, you know, reach out to me if you need any help or any clarification, okay? I will drop all the links in the description, okay? Y'all just keep saving money, man. All right, take it easy.